If you've ever felt the guilt of letting someone down after they've just expressed their love for you, you'll be somewhere close to understanding how I feel reviewing Eastward from indie developers Pixpil. I feel like this game has done everything possible to make me love it, from an incredible soundtrack, beautiful pixel art animation, a compelling story and a wonderful central relationship that weathers everything this post-apocalyptic world throws at it. So then why don't you love it, I hear you ask? The simple answer is, I've no idea.
Hey, Adam from GodIsAGeek.com here. Sorry to interrupt, but if you wouldn't mind just hitting the big old subscribe button and maybe the bell to notify you of every new video we release, we'd be really grateful. Thank you so much and enjoy the video.
The more complex answer is, I don't think it was made for me, and that's not because of the lack of violence, bombast or badass redheads either. It's more down to the fact that Eastward naturally pulls at a certain set of nostalgia strings which I simply don't possess. While it's a very good game by its own merit, Eastward is built for those gamers who remember playing through Earthbound for the first time, or squinting at The Legend of Zelda on the Game Boy Advance. I didn't, and I think maybe that's why I've struggled to connect with it in places. Set in a world ravaged by a mysterious calamity called the Miasma, Eastward begins in an underground community where your dual protagonist, John, and his adopted daughter Sam, spend their time among other survivors. John is a hunter, miner, and generally handy guy to have around. Think Joel from The Last of Us, but with a less prominent mean streak. Sam, on the other hand, was found by John and claims to have seen the mysterious surface. She's also haunted by a creepy, ghostly doppelganger, but that does nothing to mute her cheery disposition. For a game that features no spoken dialogue and one protagonist who says absolutely nothing at all, the story and writing are captivating. The relationship between John and Sam is just lovely as they care for each other, carry each other, literally when Sam climbs up on his shoulders, and genuinely need each other. Other characters that drift in and out of the story, such as the world's only remaining entertainer, Jasper, and the enigmatic badass, Izzy, add fuel to the story's flickering flame. Each time you begin to feel comfortable or think you can guess where it's going, something happens to move the pieces around. Banished from their hometown and sent forever eastwards on a train known as Caverns, John and Sam must work together and with the people they meet along the way to unravel the secrets of Sam's past and the shadowy powers behind the Miasma. While John fights handily with weapons like his trusty frying pan and a bang-bang gun, or can drop bombs to clear the way, Sam's arsenal is more internal. She can use energy to stun enemies and clear pathways through overgrown vegetation. You can switch between them at any time and will often need to use both of them to solve environmental puzzles and find your way through areas fraught with danger and traps. John is a decent cook too, so gathering ingredients will allow you to whip up meals with his frying pan to heal and increase your health. The cooking animation and sound effects are very similar to those in Legend of Zelda, and the food acts in very much the same way too. Fans of Earthbound will get a particular kick from Eastward's game within a game, Earthborn, which features combat similar to the classic RPG. It's an optional activity you can undertake in certain areas, which comes with its own bestiary and collectibles to give you an incentive to play it. Besides this, mini-games abound as you help out the denizens of various settlements on your way across the land. From collecting sand rupees, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, at a local ranch to herding blimp pigs, there's plenty to do to keep you busy, even if some of it feels a little like filler to pad out an otherwise fairly linear adventure. Boss fights break up the exploration nicely, adding a welcome element of challenge, although they won't tax you much more than the puzzles do, and a bit of perseverance will see you through. There's a nice sense of accomplishment for each puzzle you best and boss you defeat, though the former feel a more natural fit for the world. I found the bosses kind of just appeared and at no point would I have expected them. That's not necessarily a bad thing, of course, and it keeps you on your toes, but some of them feel just a little bit arbitrary. Eastward looks gorgeous in places too, with some great detail in the pixel art. The world is diverse, split between dark, foreboding caverns and sun-dappled forests, and each new area you visit feels different and interesting. Exploration is fairly minimal, and you don't wander off the beaten path too much, except to look for hidden keys and the odd collectible. It does a great job of hooking you and reeling you in. The writing is decent, the characters likeable, and the central premise intriguing enough to compel you onwards, but I couldn't shake the feeling while playing that I'd have gotten more out of it if I was a fan of the games to which it pays such reverent homage. The soundtrack too is another major plus point, harking back to the halcyon days of the 90s and once again plucking at those particular feelings. Regardless though, Eastward is an enjoyable and arresting adventure throughout, with memorable characters, likeable humour and just enough of a central mystery to keep you engaged, whether you're a fan of older RPG classics or not. There's a lot to love about Eastward and enough here to warrant your attention, and for that reason I'm going to score it an 8 out of 10. Hi there, Mick here. Hope you enjoyed that review of Eastward. If you did, please consider hitting like and subscribe. Maybe tag that bell icon too, so you're kept up to date with everything we post. And let us know in the comments if you're a fan of this type of game. Are you looking forward to Eastward? Did you play classics like Earthbound and Legend of Zelda when they were first out back in the day? It seems like years and years ago. Oh wait, it was years and years ago. That's how old we are now. Either way, let us know in the comments, and yeah, hit like, hit subscribe. Maybe check out our Patreon too if you feel like supporting us that way. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us. And in the meantime, I've been Mick Fraser for God is a Geek, and you guys have been lovely. Bye.